Welcome back everyone to the Blender Creator course, stylized 3D models. Nearly said that wrong, but anyway, let's carry on. So what we want to do now is we want to bring we want to actually cut these off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press 3. I'll come to this one first. I'm going to press Tab, A to grab everything. I'm going to come over then and click on something called Bisect. Really, really amazing tool. Let's come in. And now we've clicked on it, nothing happens. But if you come in and you just pull this down like so, you'll see nothing happens again. But if we come now and click clear inner, we can actually delete that part of the post. And what's actually happened there is it's basically made a cut down here, and then you can either clear the inner or the outer, and you can also fill the end in as well. So really, really handy for cutting things. Much easier for this sort of thing than using, let's say, something like the knife tool or something. Let's now come in and we'll do the same thing on the ear. So A, there is no shortcut unfortunately. So bisect straight down like so. Change these over. Let's come to this one then. Same thing. So A, but you can see how quickly it is to actually use. So let's cut it down. Let's clear the inner and let's come to the final one. So A to grab everything. And by the way, when you're pressing A to grab everything, what that's doing is it's telling the bisect tool where it can cut. If I only clicked on this bit here, it would just take away this part. So it's really actually handy to know that. So let's come in, cut, down, all the way around. Okay, now we've done that. Let's first of all bring this one up because it's a little bit too low. And then what we'll do now is we can see, are these the same? This one are the same, this one, and this one are the same. Rather than spin them round, rotating them round, we could do that, of course. Let's actually not do that. Let's just come into both of them, grab them both, come into shading, let it load up, zoom in, tab, and then what we'll do is just A, G, and just move them over, just so they look a little bit different. Just make sure we haven't got any big parts like that, and I don't really want those. So I'm just going to move them over like so. Yeah, and they look much nicer. Okay, so that's that done. Now we've got all of this supports in. They look good. Now let's think about another piece of wood up at the top here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably go back to Asset Manager. And then what I'll do is I'll bring in another piece of wood. Let's bring in a 2 meter part. So I'm going to put in my 2 meter part on there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rotate it. So I'm going to rotate it on the X. And then what I want to do now is I want to make this going up to there. But I want to actually stretch it along here. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So if I put this, actually I'll put it in the middle because that'll make it easier. Now if we put this onto now normal, you can see now that we've actually got this arrow pointing the other way around, pointing in the direction that this is going in. Now, if you reset your transformations, it will, if I could press Ctrl A, all transforms, right click, set origin to geometry, you can see now that it's gone back to how it was. In other words, Blender then has reset the transformation to be this angle that it is, and reset it so the normal is reset as well. We don't actually want that on this occasion. We actually want it like that, because what that means now is if I press S and X, it's actually going to follow that angle that we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it out to there. R and X, put it on global again. R, X, and then spin it round. And now I can put that into place. Really, really handy when you're dealing with things like this, because you can actually move them around in the position that you want. Now you can see this part of the wood, absolutely fine, fitting in there really nicely. This part of the wood, not. Now rather than move this part out, let's give it a bit more randomness. So that's what we're looking at doing. Let's put smooth on, and then let's pull this back, bring the mouse out. So we're actually pulling a lot of it back. Let's just drop into place like so. And you can see already that's looking really, really nice. We can't even tell that this wood is this wood. Not too much stretching on there. Exactly what we're looking for. Okay, so now let's come and put these little parts in here. Do we have any little parts that we can actually use? Maybe. Let's have a look. Have we got any one? Yeah, one. Let's use the one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in, bring it up, spin it around. So R, Y, 90. And let's drop this into place like so. Let's pull it up a little bit. Down, just so it drops on there. And then just make sure that we're happy with how far in the wall it is. And I think I am. And the one thing I'm thinking is maybe this plank of wood. Let's see if I drop that down. How far I've got to drop it down. Yeah, we can see we're losing a lot of that from there. So I think what I'll do instead is I'll just put that back up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull my wall out, because then I can hide that. Like so. And then this part. Yeah, this part's looking good anyway. Now what I want to do is I want to make it another part right on here. So maybe a tiny piece, chunk, right on here. Now I know I already have some tiny pieces that I actually created. This one here. So I'll use those. And as you can see as well, the best thing is, as you're working around here, you can just grab like little pieces from everywhere. And it makes it easier the further you go along. Now, of course, you can imagine as well, if you're working on your own on this, and you're not producing a course, you can imagine how quick this is actually going to be. All right, so we've got that there. Obviously, it's sticking way out of where we want it. Let's press S and Z and just shrink that back in. Let's pull it down then. And let's also shrink it on this as well. So S and Y. Let's pull it out into place like so. Now, with little pieces like this, the best thing you can do is if we've got them around here, so we've got our wall here, Shift D, you can't see both of them at the same time. Really don't need to worry about UVs in that situation. And then all I can do is just pull it into place like so. Let's pull it back a little bit. And let's have a look at this. This was way too far out, as you can see. Also, with this one, we have to pull it down a little bit. Double tap the A. There we go. Simple as that. Now, let's think about the next bit, which will be this part here. I might as well, I'll grab this one and use this. So Shift D and pull this out. I'm going to press R, Z, 90. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press S and Z. Pull it out a little bit. And then R, Y. Put it into place wherever I want it, which will be something like that. And then what I want to do is with this especially, I just want to bend it a little bit just to give it a little bit more to it. So if I press 1, go to side view, and then all I can do is press G. Just bend it like so. Double tap the A, and there we go. And again with this, I'm just going to bring it around now to the other side. And I'm going to put that into there like so. And I'll be glad actually when I'm building that part out, because I'll have a much better idea of what that's going to look like. But we can see now, if we just put this on rendered view and take a step back, just how nice that actually looks, and all that work that we've actually done was really worth it. All those little parts that you're putting in, all these little bricks and things like that, they're absolutely worth doing. So you can see now it's really starting to come together. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we'll actually come round and we'll actually start working on this front a little bit more. We might even get this roof in as well. But I think the first thing we should do is we'll work on this part here. Just going around, just making sure everything's okay. So I think we'll start working on this. I think this is a little bit too big at the moment, so I need to make it a little bit smaller. Maybe, just looking how far it is out. Yeah, I think I'll make this a little bit smaller for now. So S and Z, just a little bit, because I want it to be kind of supported from underneath with some more pieces of wood. So we'll work on this part now. So what I'm going to do is just put it onto material mode. And then what we'll do now is, I think the shape of it is actually fine. It's going to be a very tiny roof. We need a window on this as well. So yeah, let's go from there. So what I'm going to do is with this, I'm going to have a piece of wood going probably all the way up from the bottom, all the way into this piece here actually. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do is 2.5. Let's see if that's going to do it. R, Y, 90. Let's bring it up. So I'm going to press 1. Put that into place there. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. But I'm actually going to make it a little bit wider because this is supporting on top of these as well. So S and X. Pull it out a little bit. Pull it up a little bit. Something like that. Let's get that in place first of all. So we're just going to drop that in place like so. And that is a good start. And then we can have some parts that come from the bottom of here. So what I'm going to do then is Shift D, bring it over to the other side. And of course, I'm going to rotate it round. So RZ, 180, rotate it round like so. All right, so that's the main start of this part. We'll build this out then on the next lesson. Let's go to File and Save, and I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Thanks a lot, and I hope you're really enjoying the course. Bye-bye.